You are listening to the Snocross podcast, presented by Ishoel.
Welcome to the Snocross podcast presented by Amsoil. I'm your host, Haley Shanley, alongside Matt Skubik. We just want to remind you that you can head over to amsoil.com, and when you fill up your cart with $50 or more worth of product and you enter promo code FREESHIP SNOX at checkout, that's going to get you free shipping. Now let's welcome to today's episode the two-time back-to-back champion from Oppdal, Norway, the Viking Rocket, Elias Ishoel. Elias, how have you been, my friend?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. What have you been up to since the season ended?
No, I've been riding my sled and just stay at home and just try to be safe out in the world right now.
What are some of the difficulties you face when you are from Norway and you move to the United States for the first 6 months of the year? I mean, what difficulties do you face during those times being not from the United States?
For sure, the language and everything like that is different, and just the biggest part is maybe just being away from home, and just a long break from my friends and family and everything back home. But no, it feels good over there too, so it's getting better and better, and yeah, I like it.
Now, do you have close relationships with many of the U.S. or North American riders, or do you typically remain friends with a lot of fellow Scandinavian riders?
Yeah, it's easiest to stay with the Scandinavians because of the language and everything like that. But it's getting easier with the Americans people and everything too. And I spend most of the time with the team and the mechanics and everything like that too. So yeah, it's good.
And speaking of friendships with your fellow Scandinavians, describe your relationship with your teammate Aki. How is that?
It's really good. We work good together with on the track and with the sled and everything, and talk about what we can do better. And I actually need to speak English with him too, though, because I don't understand Finnish and he don't understand Norwegian. That's two different language. So yeah, that's actually making it easier for me to be in US too, though, because then I'm learning it better.
Now, both of you are, of course, Podium Contenders. Does it ever get tense between you two?
No, I don't feel so. We are like we know we are like in the same team, but both want to win, and but we try to stay away from the worst contact and everything like that. But no, it feels good, and it feels like we can still be racing together against each other.
You know, speaking about racing with Aki, who do you think is your toughest competitor when you're racing here in the States?
Oh, yeah, it's almost everyone in the pro class, but maybe Lincoln or Benham or Cody, Adam. It's so many.
Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think those guys put up such a good fight against you? Because clearly, right now, you're the man to beat. You know, the last two championships have gone to you. Why, to you, are they your toughest competitor?
No, they put in a lot of hard work too, and just trying to be fast and be really good, and try to be better than everyone else. So just the fastest one out there.
Why are you the fastest guy? Why are you the guy to beat? Would you say that's in part to your riding style? You're a guy who does not hold back when you're on track.
No, I'm just trying to do my best and just having focus on what I can do, and just I don't try to think about too many things, just what I can do and what makes me the fastest and best out of me, and that's what I try to think about. And I can't do anything else about the other riders or anything, so I just try to stay focused.
Well, Elias, when you started here, you were kind of known as the checkers or wreckers kind of guy. You were all out, wide open all the time. What changed in recent years? Because obviously now you're still very, very fast. But what was it, a mental thing? Was it just you getting older? I mean, you're 22 years old now. which is still very young. But what do you think brought you to that next level with consistency?
Yeah, I think it was just everything. I just needed to be more smart and more to get points and not like either win or crash, or just try to be smarter and be more safe out there too. And just getting older and more time at the track. That's why I've been learning to get better on that.
Now, the general consensus is that you're the guy to beat, and that much is true. How do you internalize feedback like that? Do you use it as fuel, or do you try to shut it out as to not let it get to your head?
I try to shut it out and just don't try to focus on that. I'm just focused on what I can do. And the another riders is so fast, so I can't let down anything. So I just need to still work hard and just be better and work even harder for next year.
Now, who is your biggest mentor in your career? Is it somebody like Blair? Is it somebody from back home, maybe your dad? Who has really pushed you to get to where you are now in your career?
Yeah, for sure. It has been really good with the help from Blair. Blair, when he got back with Skidoo and everything, has been helping me a lot. And to have a guy like that telling you what to do and which lines and just words, it have helped a lot. But the biggest one have been my dad. He have been helping me since I start, and just been all time there. So he have been for sure the biggest one.
You know, speaking about choosing lines, how do tracks compare when you were to compare tracks back home compared to here in the States, whether it be Canterbury or Deadwood, these typical snowcross tracks that everybody, typically loves? How do they compare to the ones you race back home?
The longer ones, but over here we don't. I think the track is nicer right away, but they never groom it, so it gets so bad and like shoot out and just it's just so sketchy on the tracks and like ice and so just everything on the tracks over here. So I think we're more used to everything than what the tracks in US are, because they are kind of similar and trying to be more smooth and everything, and they groom it more than what we do over here.
And I'm curious, speaking of tracks back over in Scandinavia, you've been riding a snowmobile since you were 5 years old. How does the racing scene for youth and amateur riders compare to what we have here in the States? Is there much opportunity for children to learn to race snowcross and get started very early on?
It's getting better right now, but when I started, I couldn't start racing before I turned the year I turned 12. So I start when I was 11, and in US you can start from your 5 or something. So I've been riding since I was young, but I didn't begin race before I was 12, so it took a long time to just sit and wait, and just I watched my older friends go to races and stuff like that. So that was boring and kind of just a waiting time to begin a career and stuff like that. And everything is bigger over in US, and it's maybe easy.
Now, we're only a few months into the off season, but how much is snowcross on your mind during the off season? Do you think about it constantly, or do you try to shut it off, and do you find it helpful to focus on other things?
No, it's kind of on my mind all the time, but it's actually this time of year I'm trying to take a little bit time off the sled and everything. But we have had so much snow since in this winter, so I've actually been on the sled, and we still have snow. So, but I'm trying to take more and more time off the sled now, so I can, because soon will the dirt bike season begin, and then I will go on the dirt bike all the way into next year snowcross. I'm trying to take a little bit time off both right now to just relax and do other stuff like work and trying to think about other stuff than just dirt bike and snowcross.
How much snow do you guys have at home, Elias? And also, to follow up on that, on what you just said, what do you do for work when you're not racing snowcross?
Yeah, we still have snow up in. I live kind of a little bit up in the mountains, so it's like yeah, it's a lot of snow up here right now. It's more than we have had a couple last years, and we actually got a little bit of snow this night. So, and I'm hoping for better weather now and warmer. So I want summer now. But yeah, I'm working for my dad. He has his own company. We just build the houses and cabins and stuff like that. So I'm a bricklayer and yeah, carpenter.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Now, you said one of your most memorable moments is winning Pro Light in Duluth, the opening round in 2014. Is that still your most memorable moment today after all you've accomplished in the last 2 years alone?
It's hard to take out one because it's like it have been so many the couple last years and since I even got to US. But yeah, the first one was really special. Like to be from a small guy from back here in Norway, like coming to US, and then I won my first race. It was just really big to be there, and yeah, to just win it was just awesome.
Now, has it always been a dream of yours to come race in the United States, or were you just kind of, just going with the flow per se, and just if the opportunity came, you would do it, or was this something you were always striving to do?
No, it was for sure a dream to come to US and drive because that's like where the biggest competition and that's where the snowcross is biggest in the world, and so that was of course a dream. But I was just riding over here and just trying to be fast and be like better every time I was out, and I didn't really think about anything, just trying to be better and better all the time. And yeah, and I got the opportunity to come to US, and of course that I said yes to that, and yeah, it was good.
You're working with one of the most knowledgeable guys in the pits, Jamie Chaney, otherwise known as Richard to some. How is it working with Jamie? And not only him, but your other mechanics on the team. How key have they been to your success in recent years?
Yeah, the 2 last years have been really good for me. Like with Jamie, that changed everything, and just him and my mechanic Jesse work really good together. And those guys just put up the best sled out there, and just yeah, it just feels awesome. And it have been just fun working with those two guys, and yeah, really awesome.
Definitely picked up on the vibe that you guys like to have fun. Every time I stop in there, you're laughing and having a good time. That's awesome. Now, I just
Yeah.
have one last question for you here. Do you have any regrets from this season? In other words, if you had known that we were only going to have 6 weekends of racing, would you have done anything differently?
Nah. No, I don't think so. Actually, my season was really good this year, and I'm just thankful for my team and all the work they did, and just the hard work they put in, and I just tried to do the best I could every time I did go out on the track. So yeah, I didn't really sit back or anything. So no, it ended good for me, but of course it was bad that we didn't get the 2 last weekends in, but I was happy for the rest of the season, so it's good.
No, Elias, you are, like we talked about earlier, you're young. You're 22 years old and clearly very successful already in the sport. How much longer do you think you will remain doing this? I mean, obviously, injuries are very common in our sport and everything else. So how much longer do you foresee yourself, being at the top, being a pro snowcross athlete?
Yeah, when you look at Tim and Tucker, they retired when they was 34 or something, I think, and I'm 22, and that's 12 years in front of me, so I don't know if I'm gonna do it or that, but I have actually been in US now 6 years, and it have been going by so fast, so I don't, maybe I see myself there. Yeah, when I'm 30 something too, I don't know, but yeah, I'm taking year for year and just trying to do the best out of the time, and yeah.
And you're taking it year by year, you say. So what is it going to take for you to stay on top and win your third championship in a row? Like what do you need to do different next year, or do you keep everything the complete same that you've done the previous 2 years?
No, I keep mostly the same, but I'm always trying to change and get better. Yeah, everything is changing and everyone is getting better too. So just work harder and get better, and yeah, just look in front and see what I can do better, and look back and what I can do better from the earlier season and this season too. And yeah, just work harder.
That was your 2020 champion, Elias Ishoel. We hope you enjoyed that. Once again, head on over to amsoil.com, and when you spend $50 or more, enter promo code FREESHIPSNOX at checkout to get yourself free shipping. That's courtesy of our friends at Amsoil. That's all we have for this week. Tune in next Wednesday for the next Snocross podcast presented by Amsoil.
You are listening to the Snocross podcast presented by Amsoil.